Hi everyone, I'm Mary and this is another Magical Math Moment. In this video we're going to be talking about different types of polynomial functions and classifying them as either even functions, odd functions, or neither type of function. So as you can see from our graph here, if you've got something symmetric with respect to the y-axis where you have 2 points with opposite x values, but the y values are the same, you've got an even function. Odd functions are symmetric with respect to the origin. That means you could take the first part, flip it down over the x-axis, and then reflect it over the y-axis, and you end up at the other point that you have here. If you end up with opposite y values when the x values are opposite, you've got an odd function. Finally, if neither scenario occurs, it's neither. Take a minute and see if you can figure out what types of functions are displayed in the graphs below. Okay, hopefully you noticed here that the x values are opposites and the y values are the same. They're opposite. That means we have an odd function here. Over in our second graph, the x values are not opposite. So even though the y values are the same, the x's aren't opposites. This is a neither situation. And finally, over here, our x values are opposites and our y values are the same, so this one is even. Sometimes information is going to be displayed for you in a table. So if you have a situation where you've got a bunch of points, you want to find any point where the y value isn't 0 and compare it to the point containing the opposite x value. So I chose -2, 4. That means I had to look at the point where x was positive 2. I compare the y values, they're the same, the function is even. If I look at this table over here, I chose the point -1, 5. I went to where the x value was the opposite 1, and I compared the y values, and they were also opposites, which means the function is odd. Finally here, I went and looked at -1, 7. The opposite x value is +1. The y value is 4. 7 and 4, what? Neither situation is happening here, so this is a neither type of function. Take a minute, and if you want, you can pause the video to see if you can figure out what type of functions are displayed in the tables below. Okay. So I'm hoping you did not choose where there's a y value of 0, because 0, 0, how do you know if it's the same or if it's opposite? It doesn't make much sense. So -2, 3 would be your good choice. We're going to then go and look over here where x is +2. The y values are opposites. That means we have an odd function. Over here, I'm looking at -2, 7. That means I also need to consider what's going on when x is +2. Comparing the y values, they are the same. So we have an even function. What's going on with that e? The final way you might be asked to do this is algebraically, which is always everybody's favorite way. In this first one, we're given f of x is 3x² plus 2. We're going to find f of -x. So that means I'm replacing the x with a -x. I simplify it by raising -x to the second power. Negative squared is positive, x squared is x squared, and I end up with 3x² plus 2. Since the original function is the same value as f of -x, the function is even. Up here, I do the same process where I substitute a -x in for my x values. This time, notice that with f of -x, the function values are opposite from what we started with. So when that happens, we have an odd function. Over in my last one here, I substitute a -x again. I end up with f of -x being -x³ plus 4x². So the x cubes change sign, but the x² terms didn't. So this is a neither type of situation. Go ahead and see if you can figure out what's going on in these functions here. Pause the video so you can work it out. Okay, in the first one, we're going to find f of negative x. So we've got 4 times negative x to the 5th minus 3 times negative x being squared plus 1. This is going to give me 4 times negative x to the 5th minus 3 times x squared plus 1. Finally, I get negative 4x to the 5th minus 3x squared plus 1. If I compare all of these signs, 4x to the 5th minus 4x to the 5th, opposite. Negative 3x squared, same. This is a neither situation. Did you get that one right? I hope you did. All right, let's see what's going on with the g of x. So, g of negative x, if I substitute in a negative x and raise it to the 7th, I'll just get negative x to the 7th. Here I've got negative x being raised to the 5th, so that's going to give me negative x to the 5th. Then I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Negative times negative is positive. 2x to the 5th. So we're going to look at x to the 7th, negative x to the 7th. Negative 2x to the 5th, positive 2x to the 5th. They both change sign. This is odd. Finally, in our last function, h of x, we're going to find h of negative x. So we've got negative 3, this is bouncing all over, times negative x to the 4th plus 2 times negative x to the 2nd. I've got negative 3 times an x to the 4th plus 2 times an x squared. Remember, when you're raising negative numbers to even powers, your answer is going to be positive. Multiply here, we get negative 3x to the 4th. Here we get plus 2x squared. If we compare our results, negative 3x to the 4th, negative 3x to the 4th, they're the same. 2x squared are the same. This one is even. I hope that this video has helped you understand even, odd, and neither functions a little bit better. And as always, thank you for watching. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye.